Hey drone nerds, Matt here. I'm sitting down with Lukas from Dronetag today. Lukas, how are you?
Hi, Matt. Great to see you. I'm doing great. I'm in Korea right now, and we are exhibiting at Korea Drone Show tomorrow.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so we're gonna have a list of questions here. Our focus is gonna be about the Dronetag Mini. So first off, can you tell us a little about yourself and about Dronetag?
So my name is Lukas. I'm one of the two co-founders of startup Dronetag. We are based in Czech Republic, in Europe, and we actually started 5 years ago with developing a coordination system for drones, and it eventually turned out into something which is called now remote ID, and it's being mandated all over the world. So it's kind of becoming a big situation right now, and we are trying to, not only solve the regulatory burden, but also bring some added value to the pilots.
Awesome, yeah. So today we're here to discuss the Dronetag Mini. Can you tell me a little about how this product came to be?
So Dronetag Mini is our flagship product. It looks like this. So this is a black box that you can snap onto your drone. So it's a completely standalone system with its own battery, with its own LEDs, antennas. Everything is already built inside. And the main purpose of Dronetag Mini is to keep you visible for all airspace participants all the time. And for this challenging task, it uses two different technologies. The one is broadcast remote ID, which is the one being mandated by the FAA or EASA in the Europe. So that's the one you are broadcasting the position of the drone and possibly pilot via Bluetooth in case of Dronetag Mini. And secondly, we are on top of that, we are adding a cellular network, which is feature called network remote identification, and this basically allows you to coordinate with third parties or coordinate with your fleet managers all over the world. So the pilot could be flying on the East Coast, but someone could still see him on the West Coast and act accordingly. So those are the two main ultimate features. So it's not just kind of giving you bare minimum to fulfill the regulation, but some extra features for fleet operators.
That's very cool. Who would you say is the primary consumer for the Dronetag Mini?
So it's mainly enterprise customers. So anyone who needs to have a better overview of their fleets. So for example, we have many US customers that are flying solar panel inspections, or that are flying BVLOS flights, or that are flying close to some restricted airspace. And for example, they want to inform the security guards of that restricted airspace that, hey guys, just open up this app, and as long as you see the triangle in the map with this serial number, it's us, please don't shoot it down. And this is how the product is used on the daily basis. So it's enterprise customers doing industrial tasks and mainly having a need to coordinate with third party, or having a need to integrate into third party systems as well, because you are getting the data over cellular. The data are coming to our cloud, and we are providing API to our users so they can integrate the data in real time to third party systems.
What challenges were you trying to address for your customers when you guys designed the Dronetag Mini?
So the whole idea when we started the company, and when we started designing the first product, which was actually Dronetag Mini, was this particular pain point that every time myself, I was flying somewhere, I was always freaked out by helicopters or freaked out by someone else going there and harassing me when I'm 500 meters, 1 kilometer away with very expensive drone. And this is something you don't want to kind of encounter. So the whole idea of releasing such a system was to make sure that relevant people knows when you are flying and they can avoid. And this is the ultimate goal of the product. Despite the broadcasting range, whenever there is a cellular available, anyone can see you in a safe, secured, and reliable way.
That's really good. I mean, safety is definitely number one. What would you say really separates the Dronetag Mini from its competition?
So when we started 5 years ago, there were actually no network remote ID products on the market, but we were not first. There were some companies that tried to introduce network remote ID solutions. At that time, it wasn't called network remote ID, but let's say they were releasing smarter GPS trackers for drones. But it was 2016, 2017 when the whole drone market wasn't ready yet. So there wasn't really need because the market wasn't mature enough. And I would say the break point was around 2018 when we started developing the product and when people started asking for such a feature because they had more and more industrial missions, industrial jobs. And until 2019 there were no really solutions on the market, but then one popped out. And due to some restrictions of the solution, let's say size, weight, etc., it wasn't really well accepted by the pilots, etc. So eventually it didn't make much traction. And this whole scenario repeated by few other companies. So some companies introduced their own network remote ID solutions, but they were usually, I don't know, 100 grams in weight and, size of the smartphone. So no one really wanted to use such a solution because otherwise it was too big or not user friendly, or there was not possible integration. And this is really where Dronetag stands apart from those, products. It's all in one. It works. It's flexible. You can use any building blocks you need. So you can use our app. You can use your own app. We can provide some customizations, some extra features for the customers. And until now, there is no other remote ID for the over the cellular that would bring the same capabilities than we do. And we actually see quite a common trend that some companies that were introducing their own network remote ID solutions, they closed their branch because they found out that it's just too much effort, and eventually they prefer to white label our solution instead of developing their own. So at this moment we know of about 5 companies that were developing their own remote ID over cellular, but they decided to stop and they white label ours instead. So again, this is a good reference that the market is still not mature enough to spend possibly millions of US dollars to develop something such complex. And the second point is that our system is advanced enough that it's worth for those companies to consider such a collaboration.
What does it take for somebody to get ramped up to use the Dronetag Mini?
So the process is fairly simple. It's off-the-shelf product. So you just go to dronenerds.com, you buy one, and you're ready to go. It's important to mention that this product is a little bit more complex than, for example, second product, Dronetag Beacon, because there is a cellular connection, and there is also some cloud service behind. So as long as you buy the product, there is a 6-month trial subscription, which runs after you activate the device. And for the first 6 months, you don't have to care about anything because the device just works. But after those 6 months, we ask you to cover the subscription costs. So that's a $15 per month. And for that, you get the cellular connection, the cloud service, flight storage, API, push notifications in case of some airspace hazards, etc., etc. So this is a solution meant to be for enterprise customers. Recreational pilots, they usually don't appreciate such a feature. So that's important to differentiate between those.
And what does the maintenance look like for the Dronetag Mini, and what's the lifespan of it?
By the end of 2021, we introduced the solution, and we still release firmware updates. So we kind of add features, or whenever someone report a bug, we still kind of maintain the product. So the lifespan, I cannot tell it from my head right now. Like it will be another 5 years. But the important thing is that it has quite big user base that for us it's to make it is worth to still update it. And also there is this sort of subscription which helps us to keep the product up and running and add new features. And as for the maintenance, we don't have much requests for the maintenance because the device works, or someone just smashed the wall drone with the device and everything is completely crushed. And then we provide some beneficial conditions for those customers to exchange the device for a new one, because we understand this is an enterprise product. The quick around time must be quick, and also the satisfactory of the customer is usually important, because it's usually more direct relationship with the customer than just some random guy buying one device. Usually this is being used by big companies, multiple drones. They have a one favorite supplier. So it's more like a B2B relationship than just with a common customer.
Is there any kind of hardware or software that users need to get the most out of the Dronetag Mini?
So the device itself has 2 ports for external antennas. They are optional, so customer doesn't need to use them. But in case they want to increase the broadcasting range, so for example, when they want to broadcast as long as further away as they can plug inside external Bluetooth antenna, which is available on our website or at Dronetag, costs just $30 on there. Or there is a port for external LTE antenna. Again, if you are flying in a national park or in some border area, you can add this external LTE antenna and get a better coverage. But other than that, it's a self-contained system. As long as you order it on the eShop, you get all those Velcro counterparts to mount it on top of your drone, and you just charge it before you fly, register in the app, and it's ready to go.
Yeah, and the locking mechanism you guys have is really unique. I've had some time to play with it, and it's really fascinating how it snaps on, and it's like 6 pounds of force where it can hang on. So
Yep.
let me ask you, what's next for Dronetag? Can you tell me about your development roadmap or anything else that's coming out soon?
So the story behind Dronetag is that we started as a company that want to coordinate the low-level airspace. We initially didn't want to become hardware company. We thought that this could be all done by software. But at that time, and even now, the data from the drones were not easily available. I mean, if you are having a fleet of DJI Mavic 2, Mavic 3, and Skydio drones, there's no easy way how to unify the data from all of those aircraft. So that's why the hardware is needed, and it's, let's say, external hardware, which we could call, let's say, drone transponder. But it doesn't end just there. So the transponder is just the enabler for data coming out of the drone. It could be either via the broadcasting, which is now, mandatory, or over the cellular, which is optional but have some advantages and disadvantages as well. But now we are turning into some other vertical of this remote ID field, and that is building receiver units. So going from the aircraft to the ground, building receiver units that can gather the information from nearby remote ID equipped drones, and, for example, notify the pilot in case there's upcoming danger. So again, you can imagine some enterprise customer flying his 20K US dollar drone. He wants to fly safe and he wants to be notified when someone else is around. So he purchases this sort of portable receiving unit, which will simply beep when someone is around. He can open up the app, see if it is a hazard or not, then pass on the notification or act accordingly. So that's one way how we are thinking about the safe coordination. Notify the professional pilots, or even let's say public safety organizations. Again, you can imagine firefighters, police, or some sensitive units flying their own drones over the incident. And it's quite common that other people get into their way, sometimes intentionally, sometimes just because they are not educated. And again, you want to have better situational awareness. So that's why we are coming with those portable units for people flying the drones. Secondly, we will be also introducing stationary units. So portable is for pilots, most likely. Stationary units are suitable for airports or airfields or any sort of sensitive airspace. Again, you are building those receivers to differentiate between friendly drones and the rogue ones. So when someone wants to get flying in your sensitive airspace, he just usually tells you his serial number and time he will be there. So you can then observe those data coming from the stationary receiver. And, in case some other drone pops out, you can raise alarm. You can just go there, solve the situation. But at least you have some information available, and you are just not looking to the sky and seeing drone and being completely confused if that's the approved one or the rogue one. So that's for the receivers. And we have some ongoing projects for command and control systems as well. So that's something we will be more speaking about in 2025. So that has much longer roadmap. And the good thing is that we have a continuous development on the software platform. So this is still ongoing. We are adding new features. We are adding new products there. We are still releasing firmware updates. So hopefully this makes also good impression for the customers that we just stand behind the product.
So my last question is a fun one. What do you love about Drone Nerds?
So the whole collaboration with Drone Nerds is pretty much smooth. I'm handling the stuff sometimes with your colleagues, and everything from, let's say, this direct relationship between Dronetag and Drone Nerds is just happening next business day. I mean, we have an idea that we share with your team, and as long as we share with your team, it's already happening. So that's so great to have such flexible partner with quick turnaround times, and also being the largest in the industry. So being your partner really helps us to grow, and stay number one on the market, not only in terms of the volumes, but also in terms of the, side events or education or market impact we can make.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Lucas. I really appreciate you sitting down and discussing the Dronetag Mini with me. If viewers have any questions or concerns or want to ask Lucas something, you can put those in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. My name is Matt, and thank you, Lucas, once again.
Thank you, Matt. Great to talking with you.